Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and our apologies for that late little start with a few technical issues. But I'd like to formally welcome everyone, including the members of the gallery and press, to this council meeting. My name is Councillor Owen Sharkey and I am the Mayor of Golden Plains Shire. Tonight this council meeting is taking place within the council chamber at Golden Plains Shire Council Civic Centre in Bannockburn and is open to the public. This meeting is being live streamed in accordance with governance rules, and I welcome any viewers joining us online. As the meeting is open to the public to attend, if the live stream ceases at any time, the meeting will continue. Our opening declaration: we, the councillors of Golden Plains Shire, declare that we will undertake on every occasion to carry out our duties in the best interest of the community, and that our conduct shall maintain the standards of the Code of Good Governance so that we may faithfully represent and uphold the trust placed in this council by the people of Golden Plains Shire. Acknowledgement of country. Golden Plains Shire spans the traditional lands of the Wadawurrung and Eastern Maar people. We acknowledge them as the traditional owners and custodians. Council pays its respects to both Wadawurrung and Eastern Maar elders, past, present and emerging. Council extends that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are part of the Golden Plains Shire. Now we move to any councillors. Is there any apologies or leave of absence? All right. And councillors, we have a resolution before us to confirm the minutes of the council meeting held on Tuesday the 23rd of September 2025 and the confidential minutes of the council meeting held on Tuesday the 23rd of September and the minutes of the unscheduled meeting held on Tuesday the 21st of October. If I could get a councillor to move that. Moved Councillor Hayden, seconded Councillor Phelan. Sorry, Councillor Phelan. All those in favour? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest?
There is from myself. Thank you.
And that is on item
10.1. I have a conflict of interest as my personal property is within the boundary of the area of works being discussed.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hayden. Thank you. We have no questions for question time. Councillor Phelan, just to confirm that you can see and hear us. Okay, we can see you.
Yeah, no,
I can hear you. Thank you very much, Councillor Phelan. Councillors, we now move on to consider the formal agenda. Appreciating we've just got off to a little bit of a slow start there, and appreciating that we've got members of the gallery that have come in, I am going to put forward a procedural motion that the agenda item 7.5, Clyde Hill Road, Bannockburn, be considered before item 7.1, the adoption of the asset plan. If I could, I'll move that. If I get a seconder just to move that. Move to Councillor Hayden. All those in favour? Thank you very much. So we're just moving now, councillors, to item 7.5 will be the first item on the agenda. And I refer councillors to page 17 of the agenda for this report. And councillors, is there any questions on this report? No questions. Councillors, if there's no questions, I'll seek a mover. Moved Councillor Robbins, seconded Councillor Kirby. Councillor Robbins, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This is a planning permit application for a service station at 3 Clyde Hill Road in Bannockburn. Council received 21 objections to the proposal and a petition with a large number of signatures. The relevant issues with the proposed service station essentially have to do with the location of the subject site. It's outside the proposed growth boundary for Bannockburn, it's in a rural activity zone, and it's affected by a significant landscape overlay. So starting with the fact that it's outside the proposed growth boundary for Bannockburn, that's an issue because the planning scheme says that council will seek to accommodate all growth within the proposed growth boundary and will discourage out-of-centre development. The Bannockburn Growth Plan identifies the area where the subject site is located as having a development constraint because it's identified as quality farmland. Because the subject site is in a rural activity zone, the planning scheme requires council to consider whether the proposed use and development is compatible with protection of the productivity of the land and whether it supports rural and agribusiness related uses. It doesn't pass that test because it's a commercial use that isn't connected to the land's rural character. And because the subject site is affected by a significant landscape overlay, council needs to consider whether the proposed use is compatible with the scenic qualities and environmental significance of the area. And it doesn't pass this test because it would introduce a visually prominent urban style development into a sensitive rural setting. When councils make planning decisions that go against their own growth plans and strategies, what you end up with is outcomes that don't support our priorities and objectives for the local community. Objectives like ensuring orderly growth, strengthening the economic role of the town centre, limiting urban sprawl and protecting rural land. You get growth that doesn't feel planned and doesn't support the desired character and ambience of the town. A lot of good work goes into our growth plans and strategies, and we should seek to be guided by them when considering decisions such as this one. So I move that we issue a notice of decision to refuse the planning permit. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Councillor Robbins. Councillor Kirby.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I reserve my right to reply.
No worries. Councillors, would anyone like to speak against the motion?
I'd like to speak for it.
I'll allow you to speak to it, Councillor Campbell.
Thank you. I support the officer's recommendation to refuse a permit for this location. I am concerned, however, we may have to defend an appeal at VCAT, and there are recent precedents for similar type of developments fairly close and along the same road. I would have thought we now have more than enough substantial service stations within the Bannockburn-Geelong Road area, and this extra proposal will be oversupply and barely profitable. However, that's a business decision not relevant to this planning decision. Basically, is this an appropriate location or siting? For me, the most significant reasons for supporting the recommendation is the adverse visual impact on a significant landscape. The site falls within a significant landscape overlay, Russell's Bridge. This area is not just significant for the landscape, but also the history. Russell's Bridge was named after George Russell with the original Moorabool River outstation. He was the manager of the Clyde Company, hence the Clyde Hill name as well, which acknowledges the fact that Clyde Company basically owned all the agricultural land from Geelong to Warrnambool and up to the Grampians. So it's got enormous significance that way. There's also, there was a village there, and there was a historical mill, which is still there, which was used for water, for cooling the steam engine to provide the flour and bread, mainly up to the large mining town of Steglitz back then. The mill and the surrounding landscape is a unique part of colonial, Port Phillip settlement, Golden Plains and Bannockburn history. You can see the building from the road near the bridge. The vista is part of this significant landscape overlay. It would be significantly degraded if this permit were to be approved. Additionally, we need to maintain clear differentiation between Bannockburn to Geelong, which is becoming increasingly urbanised, and this significant landscape overlay provides and intended to provide and preserve this differentiation and maintain the integrity of the rural character of that area. So I support the officer's recommendation and hope it remains as such.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gamble. Councillors, does anyone like to speak against the motion? Councillor Kirby, appreciating there's been a mover and a seconder. Do you?
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry?
I can speak to it, yes.
Yep.
First of all, thank you, Councillor Robbins, for the insights on the planning matter before us. Also to Councillor Gamble, a fantastic history lesson we've just received there, because even I didn't know about all those the different monuments and that are still there, and you can see them today. I support the officer's recommendation, and I think it goes to show from the amount of people who are in the gallery tonight that we're definitely supporting him, and it is because it is outside of the boundary of the growth area. So therefore, I approve this recommendation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councillor Robbins, would you like to close?
No, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillors, I'll put the opposite recommendation, the motion to a vote. All those in favour? The motion is unanimously accepted. Thank you very much. We now revert back to item 7.1. I do appreciate council business is not the most entertaining way to spend a lovely evening at 6:30. So if members of the gallery did want to leave, or feel free to hang around. We've got the asset plan followed by the exciting annual yearly report, but probably not as exciting as Dancing with the Stars or whatever's on tonight.